Hi, everybody. I'm sorry. Hi, everybody. And this is Auntie, and I am having some serious system issues. So if I look crazy, I feel crazy. Hoping that you all had a great day. I am here with an Auntie. Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so. Where in the hell was Rudy? How was he lost and found at the same time? And my question is, what kind of mother does something like this? Let's get into it, y'all, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. I'm feeling crazy.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
and everybody needs.
You can make this up.
Now, you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lives, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, welcome back, everybody. And this is your dear old Auntie. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And to all of my new subscribers, those of you who have recently hit that subscribe button, thank you all so much for doing so. And welcome to the Auntie's Advice family. To my nieces, my nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul. Thank you all so much for your continued support. As you all know, I am covering different topics here on Auntie's Advice, and only those that I want to cover. Okay. But this particular situation, I feel like I had to cover. I'm hoping that you all can see me and hear me. Okay? See me and hear me. All right? So just 1 second, I need to do some maintenance. I was having problems with my StreamYard for some reason. And right as I was talking to the gentleman trying to troubleshoot the StreamYard issue, he told me to send him a screenshot of what I was doing right. So I attempted to do that, and I had to hit the live button. When I hit the live button, guess what it did? It brought me up. So I had to tell him, you're going to have to hold for a minute. It's just a lot going on. Happy Thursday Eve, Friday Eve, y'all. I don't know what's happening with my computer. Just 1 second, y'all. Just 1 second. If you knew here, I usually don't have to go through all this, but for some reason today, I'm having to go through all this. I am going to put this on a subscribers only. Okay. Just so we can attempt to keep the confusion down in the chat. So just 1 second. There we go. Okay. So hopefully that is all I have to do today. Okay, because I ain't got it to do. So let me see if I can pull up some of the information I have. There is was a the information is ever changing on this particular subject, right? I'm going to tell you who he is, who his dad is, and then I'm going to allow you all to see this video of a press conference that was just done maybe about an hour ago in Houston. And I kept thinking to myself, Houston, we have a problem. I don't know whether or not oh my God, hold on. Because you're a shining star, no matter who you are. Shine a right, see who you could truly be. Hey, rabbit. I'm hoping that is my rabbit. Abo. I love me some rabbit. What? Love me some rabbit. So I was looking at the story and I was looking at it, of course, from a mama's perspective. When it hit me because at first I just was like, wait a minute, what? When you hear a story like this, it grabs you. And, sometimes you hear and you don't hear. And I think that when I first heard it, I heard it and I didn't hear it. But then as I continued to hear it, I was like, what the whole hell is going on with Rudy and Rudy's mama? Again, I'm going to let you all see the press conference. It was very interesting because the aunties, the sisters of his mama, Janie, came out and was like, bitch, they all lying. And I was like, wait a minute, they lied? So, as I said, this story is ever changing. It's almost like every 10 minutes, almost like the Titan. And you all told me that you wanted me to do another coverage on the Titan. We'll do that. And I know I got some regularly scheduled programming, but I want to talk about what is interesting to all of us. Some new topics and some trending topics. But like I said, this one really got to me because I'm a mom. And I'm thinking that why would someone allegedly lie and say that their child has been missing for 8 months and years? Like, who does that? Who hides their child? All the neighbors, bitch, so said we ain't Rudy ain't missing. Like, this has been so interesting in me, and it's been funny because some of the neighbors, they're black, right? They look like me, and they like, bitch, ain't nothing wrong with Rudy. Rudy was just they said Rudy was just in my damn garage. Rudy ain't missing. Now y'all know we gonna tell the truth. We gonna tell the truth, damn it. Rudy ain't missing, bitch. He was just over here at the barbecue. Matter of fact, he told me how much he loved my potato salad, bitch. So I'm sitting and I'm thinking, let's have a conversation about it, because if they're looking at it and everybody else looking at it, so are you all, okay? So I had everything up on the screen. It seems like I've lost it, right? So I have to pull some of it back up again, all right, if y'all don't mind. If y'all don't mind, let me just say this, honey. I thank people for hitting it. Thank you so much for doing that. But a like button don't mean nothing anymore. Just like subscribers. But thank you so much for putting the message out there. I appreciate that. But it doesn't matter whether or not you all hit it or not. I'm just glad that you're here. But thank you so much, Katrina, for letting everybody know. Okay. Okay. That's because they rock with me. They rocks with me. So they're going to make sure that, they make sure that to make sure. So let me first give you some background in case you have not heard about this story. Let me tell you what is happening. So there's a young man by the name of Judy Farias, who has been missing for 8 years. Allegedly, he went out and walked his dog, right? He was 17 years old and he went out to walk his dog. When he went out to walk his dog, he didn't come back home. So the mama put out a missing persons report on him. Now, he was 17 years old. Allegedly, Rudy was tired of going through the things that he was going through in his home. He had recently lost his father and recently lost his brother. We're going to talk about some of the tragedies that he went through as a child. When he came back to the house, allegedly the mother scared the babies out of him, right? She scared the out of him. And basically, allegedly told him, bitch, you gonna stay in the house. And when you stay in the house, right, you gonna be incog whatever. Because if you don't, I'm gonna turn your ass in for running away and whatever. Now, allegedly, the police officers in Houston came to the home and they, did their general investigation of Rudy, who was 17 years old. By Houston standards, he is an adult. Now, I just found that out today during the press conference that at 17 years old in Houston, Texas, you are considered adult. Well, bitch, I wish somebody had told me. Had told me, because the area that I live in, you're not an adult until you're 21 years old. Now, everybody's out there. They doing what they do with the whoop, whoop, whoop. The mother is allegedly milking this. She put a GoFundMe account out there. She only raised $2,000 some odd dollars back in the day when he was missing. They're not sure whether or not GoFundMe is going to go after her ass for it, but they said that they have blocked her. Okay. Now, come to find out, Rudy allegedly was in some restaurant. And they was like, wait a minute. That's the dude. Is that the dude that was missing back in the day? Is he up here in the restaurant acting a little jacked up? So we're going to hear some different things from people, different people's perspective. I will not be bringing it up on my screen. Unfortunately, I don't need any kind of copyright strikes or nothing, right? So I'm going to be holding it in my hand. So, people are wanting this mother to be arrested. Now, there was an advocate, okay? We're going to see him. And the advocate indicated that there was some against him, that he had been highly drugged or medicated. And the police department is not, in my opinion, not wanting to take the word of the advocate for some reason. And I'm saying, what's the problem if dude said that he interviewed him and he said that Rudy said this and there was an officer present? What do you mean that you didn't hear Rudy say any of these things? The advocate indicated that Rudy wanted his mama out the room. Now, the mama has been in control of everything, and some of the allegations may be triggering. If you don't feel like you can sit through this, I'm telling you, exit right now, because don't be in the comments section giving no sad story. Don't be in the comment section saying this is too much, Auntie. Don't be in the comment section, I can't take this, and don't even do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. If this is too much for you, exit now. This is your first and last warning that some of this material is going to be a little bit much. This ain't 90 Day Fiance. Okay? This isn't Love After Lockup. This real in life. It's not scripted television. We'll get back to that. But for today, we're going to be talking about this. Okay? So I'm going to pull up this article because there has been, in the press conference today, there has been some information that was brought forward by the family members. Okay? This article is coming to you from the New York Post. And it is, who is Rudy's father? Missing 25-year-old's tragic family history. So I just want to give you a little bit of background as far as what they know about Rudy. So they said Rudy Farias, the Houston man who was reported missing in 2015 and found last week, lost his father in an apparent unaliving of himself just months before his disappearance. So here we are. We have this 17-year-old boy. Let's just make it all clear. We have this 17-year-old boy who months before he ran away, father unalived himself. And years after his brother's sudden passing, Rudolph is it Farias? Farias, whose son, formerly named Rudolph Rudy the Fourth, was found safe last week after being missing for 8 years. He worked in the Houston. His father worked in the Houston Police Department, HPD, Traffic Enforcement Division in 2014 when he unalived himself in his patrol car. And he did that on August the 19th of 2014, just hours after he was relieved of duty for allegedly writing bogus traffic tickets to make overtime. And that's according to KHOU 11. He was identified by HPD the following day in a parking garage behind the department's jail near downtown Houston. His father was among 4 officers accused of falsifying several dozen speeding tickets issued by the HPD's Traffic Enforcement Unit, in which officers appeared to have been in 2 places at once, the outlet reported. So they have a picture of his brother here. It says in an obituary listed, the father, they cited that Romy Marie as his wife of 17 years, with no mention of Rudy's mother, Janie Santana. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. When they wrote up the obituary, bitch, Romy Marie was listed as the wife, not Miss Janie Santana. So I don't know if the two, if maybe they were divorced. I mean, if they were separated or whatever. I don't know, what the living conditions was, but he knew this to be his father. Okay. They said that Rudy was a teenager when his brother was unalived in a motorcycle accident in 2011. Rudy vanished in early of March of 2015 when a missing persons report described him as suffering from depression, PTSD, and anxiety, and a history of unaliving ideations. So we see that this is a troubled young man who has lost 2 of probably the most important people in his life, his brother and his father. So we're not dealing with someone who is in their right state of mind. I'm assuming that he was seeing a therapist if they knew that, he was having these ideations, right? They said now 25 years old, he was found outside of a local church last week wearing his late brother Charlie's necklace. which I believe the aunt had today. Y'all, we're going to look at that. Police later revealed he safely returned home just one day after his 2015 disappearance. But his mother, sicker than a mother, in my opinion, hid him. And the pair lied to the police about their identities. There's an activist by the name of Cornell X who claimed on yesterday that Rudy told him that his mama had drugged him, tortured him, and SA'd him. Now, allegedly, according to Cornell X, okay, he said not Malcolm, but Cornell, his mother would ask him and told him that he now needed to be the father. What kind of sick bitch? What kind of, again, this story became very interesting to me because I was like, what kind of sick bitch? Like, this is the kind of stuff that make you want to whoop somebody's, because you are leashing that child in our society. Now, I can't say that she wasted police resources because it seemed like they didn't do, okay. I said it seems like. I didn't say they didn't. I said it seems like. But you are releasing this person out into society, not of any fault of his, but of yours. But still, and yet, there's something that has affected him. There's no way in the world that someone has been in a house under another name, bitch, and walking around acting like he his own cousin, when he himself is himself, and the neighbors down the street said, bitch, that's Lil Rudy. They said she would ask him to play daddy. She told him that he had to be the husband. Now, this allegedly is coming from Cornell X, and he said that the little boy told him that this black man stood that he's an activist in their community and an advocate. Okay. And so, he is well known. The family seemed to have really known him, right? And so, he, you know, embraced the boy and was like, okay, let's talk about it and stuff like that. And then after, he said that, he was talking like that, the police were like, well, he don't want to talk to us, but can we be in the room? Now the police are backpedaling, allegedly. They're backpedaling and pussy popping and saying that they ain't hear nothing. I said, what the hell, Houston, we got a problem. So anyway, allegedly. So it says that his mama hasn't been charged in connection with her son's alleged disappearance or treatment. And police said they have found no evidence of SA. Well, how are you going to find evidence of SA if you ain't examined him? How you going to find it if you haven't talked to him? Y'all say y'all ain't never talked to him. So like what? Like, so is it fucking me? Did you run a kid on him? Did you take his blood to see whether or not there were anything in him? Since he alleged, since Cornell asked, I need to interview Cornell. Since Cornell said that he talked to him and he said his mother had been giving him stuff, did y'all take his blood, bitch? What did we do? Did we do anything? Rudy is safe, HPTD official said. Today he is with his mother by choice. He is 25 years old. His aunt said, bitch, he ain't with his aunt. They said if they're going to get up there and do a press conference, then they need to know what they talking about. Rudy is not with his mother. The aunts went off and started telling the truth, and they started getting down to the rooter tutor of the whole thing. And I mean, I'm talking about dragging people under the bus. But the aunt made sure she said she did nothing illegal. So it seems like Miss Santanta will call a popo because according to the family, she got connections with these. What's up, it's J Dub. What's up, boo? Welcome. If you want me to drop the link and you want to talk about it, that's fine. If Rabbit is still here and y'all want me to drop the link, like J Dub say, you could have been anywhere else. So I'ma holler and shout out my content creators because they can be making content. Thank you, J Dub, for stopping by. I fucks with J Dub, okay, in case y'all ain't know. So that is the background on this young man. I thought it important that you knew what his background was so you could think about his possible way of thinking or not thinking. It appears that from what everyone is saying, for the last 8 years, he's been manipulated and controlled by his mother and by fears. But here's the kicker. The mama missing. Through all of this, allegedly, the mama is fucking missing. Where did she go? And why did she go? What the hell does she have to hide, bitch? What's going on? Come on now. Oh, I got a little bit of everything going over here, y'all. Excuse me, please. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Did I close it out? I think I closed it. Okay, so let me pull it up real quick. Let me find it. Hold on, y'all. Talk amongst yourselves. So now they're saying that when people in the neighborhood was seeing him, she was passing him off as a nephew. So that was the code. That was the story that he was supposed to tell the neighbors. Because like I said, the neighbors said that he was playing with their kids. Bitch, they said that they was playing tic-tac-toe and some more. So according to the New York Post and an article that was printed at 11:13 this morning, the mother made a midnight run. Y'all listen? The mama made a midnight run from her home in the wake of horrifying allegations that she had hidden her son at home, kept him drugged, and tortured him, according to the reports. What the? A neighbor, because everybody watching her. I told you she got black neighbors. And I'm telling you, sometimes when it come down to stuff like this, when it come down to a kid, we snitching, bitch. We don't care about the stitches, the snitches get. We don't care about none of it. We snitching. So they said a neighbor called the popo after spotting Janie leaving her home shortly after midnight. Because, yeah, bitch, they up. They up and they looking. Just hours after she had been interviewed by the police for the apparent disappearance of her son. Following that interaction, local activist Cornell X had revealed the grotesque details he claimed to have heard from the now 25-year-old victim himself. So they said she ain't been charged, but bitch, she said she running just in case. Now they had her locked up, had her handcuffed and everything, and the aunt was pissed. She had told the neighbors. So let me let y'all see a picture of the mama. She looked like she did everything they said she did. She looked like her house dirty and some more. She looked like she would hide a bitch in the closet. This is him coming out of the hospital where he had recently been treated with Quanell Axe. Quanell is a hero because he was able to get him to talk. This thing is doing all kinds of stuff. So right now, he a grown man. But the thing about it is listening to the Houston's press conference, they was real dry about this. They were like, first of all, running away isn't a crime. When you're 17 years old, you grown. Instead of saying we missed some things or we could have possibly missed some things in doing an investigation on this, they like he was grown. And he grown now. And he with his mama. That's not the point. The point is that this little boy or this man, this 17-year-old man, appears to have been held against his will. I just did not, in my opinion, see any care or compassion or Houston taking any responsibility for possibly flubbing this case. Because they said that the mama should have changed the status of the missing case report, but it's just a Class C misdemeanor. They said it's like getting a traffic ticket. But what about what she was doing to this? I can't I can't understand if they're saying it's okay. They say that they're still doing an investigation, that the district attorney decided not to charge. Like, I'm so confused. Because at 17 years old, you got rights. And if I'm saying somebody is drugging me and I'm not making, bitch, let's hear from the aunts. Any information that you all did not get, anything unclear about it before I move on. Because in my other video, people were sitting up there talking about what did she say and get to the point. They act like they did not hear myself and Pam say what Kelly did to the daughter. And I was like, is it me? So if there's anything that you don't understand, before I move on, tell me. Tell me so we can go back. Anybody? Because I want to make sure that I've told you what the police said at the thing, that he was 17 years old, he had grown, that there was no evidence, that they didn't hear him testify, they did not hear him discuss, they didn't hear him whisper that he had been harmed by his mother, although Quanell X said, bitch, yes, he did. Quanell said, yes, he did. And my whole thing, if this man is an activist, he don't have nothing to gain. So why would he lie? Why would he lie? He ain't got no damn reason to be out there lying, and he standing up there about the crime breakdown in front of these people. Like, are you fucking serious? Houston, we got a problem. Let me find Quanell. we're going to hear a little bit of what Cornell shared. Hold on for 1 second. So here we are. I'm going to share a little bit with you all about what Cornell discussed. This is the high level. We're not going to play the whole thing in its entirety. We're going to give you the most updated information. Okay? That's my intention, is to give you the most updated information. Okay?
She would make him sleep in the bed with her. And he said that she made him play daddy.
Well, Fox 26 News was there yesterday. Now, why would Cornell make that up? He has no reason to make that up. The man is emotional. His vulnerability is sitting out there on the sidewalk. On the sidewalk. You can see his compassion for this young man. This ain't a joke. This is not this man trying to get clout or notoriety. I refuse to believe that. But the thing about it is, why doesn't this boy have this relationship with the police officers? Apparently, he has been manipulated by his mother so much in regards to relationships with police officers. His dad was a police officer. I gave you all the background on the father. And so maybe that information was twisted around, that his father was put off of the force because he was writing up traffic tickets in an attempt to get overtime, and then unalived himself. So did the mother use the past tragedies that had happened in their life in order to manipulate her son and to have him to distrust police officers? Although that's what his father was. Now remember that the mama, they said, wasn't sitting up on obituary as the wife. So that could have been a little bit, she could have been bitter about that too. But bitch, there's a problem. So let's hear from Cornell X, shall we? Yes, we shall.
Just moments after community activist Cornell X spoke about this case, recounting his conversation with Rudy and the allegations of sexual abuse, claims that were disputed by investigators earlier today. Now, we caught up with Cornell X to get his reaction.
My problem with that, Chief, is your detective sat right there with me.
Yeah.
For an hour and 15 minutes and heard every word come out of Rudy's mouth about what took place at home with his mother.
But yet they saying they didn't hear Rudy say that. They did not hear Rudy say that. Something is wrong. Now, he's an activist, so he doesn't have any authority. He's a volunteer. So he actually can't even get a statement from him. Not technically, not a technical on the record statement. But they asked if they could stay in the room, and he said yes. And Cornell just said they sat there for an hour and 15 minutes and listened to everything that came out of out of Rudy's mouth. And now they backpedaling and saying they ain't hear nothing. But what is going to surprise you is what the auntie said. Because aunties was rickety raw. Aunties, they are tired. I'm going to tell you another thing that upset me that I would not want my leaders to do. When we're talking about a case, I don't need you to be talking about the budget. I don't need you to tell me how many cars need to be purchased. I don't need you to tell me that 95% of the budget is salary and benefits. That's everybody's budget. I don't care what company you run. The bulk of your money is for salaries and benefits. We're talking about Rudy. We don't need to know about the budget. That's deflection. If you feel like you need to talk about that, go to the civic, the county, the state meetings where they are having those discussions at that level, not at a press conference. To me, it just came off as, in my opinion, as unsympathetic, non-caring to all the people in this nation who give a about what happened to Rudy, who wants to know what you gonna do. Allegedly, they have pulled him over, him and his mama over multiple times. And they both falsified their names. Motherfuckers in the neighborhood said that they called and was like, Rudy up in that. Rudy's not lost. But you want to talk about the budget? What the budget got to do with Rudy? I found that weird. There were questions that were asked, legitimate questions that were asked, and people were shut down. We don't give up about that. So let me attempt to bring up for you the interviews with the aunties. See if I can bring it up. Just 1 second. Let's see if we can bring it out. Yeah, just 1 second. Okay, and I am back. So, Houston police decided to have, as I said, a press conference. But after the press conference, the aunt said, we're going to have our own. I am using this video under fair use. It is for reporting, education, and entertainment purposes.
The family is speaking right now. Let's go ahead and hear from
One
them.
of Janie's friends. She's
Second word from what we know of.
she took Rudy yesterday from the hotel. So, like the chief of police said, that Rudy is with his mother. He needs to get the facts straight. Rudy is not with his mother. He is with this other friend who has known and had Rudy in her possession.
They said they don't have it to do. They said, get your facts straight because Rudy is not with his mother. And if he was, he ain't there by choice. Get it together. He would have fled. Now, these are the aunts. The woman in the back, I believe that this is her daughter. Okay?
Rudy ahorita está con una amiga de Janie, la mamá, y estamos esperando que él viene con la familia.
You know, one of the things the chief just said in that press conference was that if you're watching yesterday, you know, Cornell X talked about that there were sexual assault allegations, that his mother had sexually assaulted him, had drugged him. And the chief said there is no indication that that happened.
Let me interrupt on that. I'm going, hold on.
One at a time. Sorry, I just want to make sure we hear you.
The chief is not going to know if those allegations are true or not unless Rudy had been taken to go get medically evaluated.
Exactly. Bam, clack-a-lack-a-lack-a-lamb, which is what I said. How do you know and how can you discount it if you haven't tested them? But their argument is he's grown.
Doesn't take doesn't take someone to have a degree to know that you are not gonna know anything if you are not checked.
But of course, Rudy was in the hospital.
Rudy was not in the hospital. The pictures that Janie had been posting and giving to the media and everybody, I'm sorry, are pictures from 2012 when Rudy was hospitalized.
I'm going to play the rest of it on my phone. Just 1 second. So now her mama, as a result of that question, said, I got some things I need to say. And I'm not saying it in Spanish. I want to say it in English. Mama, which is Janie's sister, said, I got a few things that I want to say.
Chief of Police could have brought out Cornell X statement because my nephew Rudy Farias, who so-called quote unquote was missing since 8 years ago, 2015, and those fake hospital pictures were fake from 2012. Cornell statement should have been brought up because Cornell is here to help. It's very rare that he would come out and speak up on behalf. And my nephew Rudy would have never talked if Janie was around. Okay, Janie is a hypothetical liar, manipulative. She knows a lot of people in the HPD. So I'm gonna have to say, I'm not quite sure, but I'm gonna have to say she knows a lot of people in HPD, and that's why her freaking ass has been covered up.
How are you feeling about no one being charged?
No hay cargos. Dijo que no hay cargos ahorita. And that's the first thing. How is a mom going to do something to her child, knowing that that is very wrong and that's crucial? Okay, it runs in the family, in her family, and I'm very pissed off. And I don't want to bring my past up because of Santana's stepfather. And I'm sorry to say that I grew a hard life, but because of her father that sexually abused me. So it runs in her freaking family.
Are you saying that someone should be charged in this case?
Yes, there should be charges.
She said it runs in the family. That she went through this herself. So I guess that she's implying, or what I'm hearing, is that so did Janie. And a lot of times they say people who have been, and I said a lot of times, I want to be clear because I'm going to tell you, I don't want this in my comments. A lot of times, people who have been through things like this also do this to other people if they're not healed. She's saying, Janie, I know her daddy did this to me. So it ain't hard for me to imagine that she did this to her son. She said, I ain't trying to tell my business, but this is so serious that I feel like I need to. She put everything on Front Street. She said she ain't got it. She don't have it to do. At this point, voila. Voila. And I want to make sure that I clear something up. Not everybody who's experienced this does this. There's an old saying that people say, hurt people hurt people. We all been hurt and we all don't hurt. Not everybody hurts because they've been hurt or as a result of hurt that they have experienced. That is a lie. It's not the truth. So I don't want to put every hurt person in one basket. Neither do I want to excuse people who have experienced SA. I don't want to excuse the behavior either and say it's justified because they went through that. I want to be very clear on what I'm communicating today.
en el press conference que no hay charges. Que
And who
van a hacer una
pero qué sienten
investigación.
de saber que no hay cargos en
Estamos bien enojados. ¿Cómo no van a hacer nada? Ellos están diciendo que no van a hacer nada porque no hay pruebas. ¿Cómo chingados no van a ver si hay pruebas o no? Si lo llevan a Rudy para que lo chequeen. Yesterday, when we were at the hotel, they had her, from what I believe, I didn't get there on time because I was doing other stuff. They had her in handcuffs. Why in the freaking world did they let her go while she was in handcuffs? Because they made one phone call to a district attorney, whoever he was, and said, "What? Let her go. There's nothing to follow any evidence."
Do you believe that she should be charged with any?
Yes, yes.
Not only with what she's done to Rudy, but falsifying that he had been kidnapped, taken to Mexico, that he had been spotted in other states. She had people all over the United States looking for him because of her
Doing this damn GoFunding me account, fraudulently taking money when the son was there. And I don't mean to bring this up. God rest our mom in peace. But when my mom was under our home health where I work at, I would go visit her because she would never answer her freaking phone. I would go knock at her door. It would take Janie 20 minutes exactly, because I would time it, to answer the freaking door. During the time, and my heart tells me something is going on, I would finally see my mom all dirty, malnourished, really filthy, and going in her bedroom so filthy that it was a shame.
Pauline, can I just ask you, investigators said over and over again that they had made contact with both Rudy and his mother over the past 8 years. They gave fake names on multiple occasions, both of them. Your reaction to hearing that?
If that was fake names giving because Rudy was coerced by his mom to lie, and she manipulated Rudy to say what it was. Once again, I'll bring the subject up. Had Quanell X not been there yesterday at the hotel and took Rudy aside to talk to him, Rudy then felt the comfortness to talk to Quanell X and bring every freaking thing that she did to our nephew. How in the hell is a mom going to do that to her own kids? Even my own mom, when she was alive, God rest her in peace, that we had to marry her because she couldn't take this shit anymore from Janie. You know, it's horrible. My mom would tell me in person, Rudy is here, Rudy is here. I would go and try to open the doors, and she would say, what are you doing there? I says, I'm just seeing if I left something behind or whatever. My mom never lied. She always said my mom had dementia. Yes, my mom finally got her Alzheimer's at 80-something years old when my sister Sylvia finally took controlship of her. You know, this is hard, but we promised her mom we would make justice, that this would come to light.
Pauline, you believe that Rudy was a victim, is what you're saying? Yes.
Totally victimized.
Can I say something in regards to the chief of police saying that numerous occasions Rudy and his mom were stopped by the police and they gave fake names? Aren't the police asking for ID, driver's license, something when a person gets pulled over? Aren't they supposed to have something, show something, proof of your name? So were they not asking this to know that these people are giving fake names or were fake IDs or driver license presented?
So why do you think that they were so reluctant to talk about what was discussed, what Quanell told?
I think the police are hiding something. They know that
Janie comes from a background of HPD.
They know there is proof, and yes, Janie has a lot of contacts with the HPD department.
Allegedly.
And people up there, higher level people, are hiding
allegedly
the fact that Janie has done things.
Allegedly.
Her ex-husband, Rudy's father, who also committed suicide.
Allegedly.
Things that he was doing within the police department. So I know there are lots of officers, lots of DAs, judges that do their job. They do what they promise and swear to do, and there are the corrupt ones. And these people are hiding and lying for her, and right now
allegedly
she's getting away.
Allegedly.
Upstairs, if HPD ever went to the house, specifically to his house in the last 8 years,
and they cut it off. The gentleman, because they've been there one time when she used to live on Lee Road in Humble. They went one time when we reported that.
So if you would like to see more information on this, I will make sure that I put the link down in the description box so you can go and see not only the sisters spilling the tea because they spilled more tea, but you can also go and see the press conference that preceded this conversation with them. They are disgusted and they believe that there is something in the buttermilk that is not clean. This whole story, in my opinion, is something out of a V.C. Andrews book. I used to be an avid reader of V.C. Andrews. And I think that that's what drew me to this story. Or well, one of the reasons. But the main thing was, what mother would do this to their child? The sisters go on to say in this press conference that they believe that she was absolutely and totally motivated by money. There also was, according to Cornell X, she was taking him to work. Allegedly, she works a security job. And she would take him to work and he would do her job. I was like, what the fuck? What the? So is there video footage to show this? If they're doing a security job, a night security job, there's got to be some footage of him walking back and forth. After 8 years, nobody realized until he was found outside of a church that this was Rudy. Here's my thing. I know my neighbors, right? We mind our business for the most part. But I know how many kids they got and how many they don't. I make sure, they get Christmas gifts from me and Thanksgiving baskets. Not Thanksgiving, Easter baskets, Halloween candy, and the like. Most of the time I prepare it in cute little packages and make it like really, really cute because I have 2 dogs who don't like people coming up on the house. But I know that if my neighbor has 2 kids and one of the kids passed away in a motorcycle accident, the other kid is gone. But then I see you with the kid and you passing it off as your nephew. I know what your child looked like. He was lost and found at the same time. He'd always been around. He'd been playing with everybody. So I don't even understand how she got away with this. But I am going to be keeping my eye on this case. And we'll come back. If this is something you all are interested in, come back when we get more information next week. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section what y'all think about this. Is this one of the worst things you've heard and the craziest things that you've heard in a long time? GD, you said, why didn't they never say anything? They did multiple times. The neighbor said something multiple times. They did. But Houston said it ain't a crime to be a grown man. Thank you all so much for being here. I love you all to pieces. And this is the end of this video. If you have not already done so, go ahead on and hit that and subscribe button. It's free 99, won't cost you anything. Thank you so much for the content creators who came in. Thank you so much, and love to all of my members. Y'all, until we meet again, y'all be safe out in those streets and in the water.